Ohio State, Michigan. Fittingly referred to as the game, this end-of-season matchup has indeed been the game that defines the season for these two programs for over a century. Few matchups in sports, let alone college football, have so often made or broken championship seasons. And while the anger and hatred mostly stem from what has occurred on the field, animosity between the two dates back to long before either school fielded a football team. 35 years before the founding of the Ohio Agricultural and Mechanical College, later to be renamed Ohio State, and 45 years before the University of Michigan fielded its first football team, the Toledo War of 1835 and 1836 set the stage. Due to inaccurate land surveys and conflicting legislation, the state of Ohio and the territory of Michigan both claimed ownership of the land comprising the Toledo Strip. While the term war is a bit hyperbolic, seeing as there were no deaths and only one injury, that both Ohio and Michigan deployed armed militias prepared to fight the other, created hostility between the two that only seems to grow over time. Competition moved to the football field in 1897. The 34-0 victory for the Wolverines was a sign of things to come in the rivalry's early years, as the Michigan football program was head and shoulders above Ohio State's. There were 14 more matchups in the following 20-year period, of which Ohio State won none, with only 2 ties preventing Michigan from having 15 wins in 15 tries. The absolute low point for Ohio State occurred in 1902. The game ended with a score of 86-0, despite the referees ending the game early. The loss for Ohio State was so bad that legend claims their alma mater, Carmen, Ohio, was written in the aftermath on the train ride back to Columbus to lift the team's spirits. The 1918 game was the first between the two as Big Ten members, with Michigan having recently rejoined the conference. Unsurprisingly, the Wolverines recorded another shutout victory on their way to their 5th national championship. Legendary coach Fielding Yost was setting the gold standard for college football. It would have been difficult for anyone to imagine this annual event becoming much more than a guaranteed tally in the win column for the Maize and Blue. Ohio State had different plans, however, all thanks to a generational talent named Chick Harley. Harley had been a star for the Buckeyes in 1916 and 1917, but missed the next season to serve as a pilot in World War I. As the two teams were not in the same conference in those years, the 1919 game was his first chance to help Ohio State turn the tide. And turn the tide they did, with Chick leading the team to a 13-3 victory. Chick Harley's impact on Ohio State doesn't end there, though. His mesmerizing play drew so much attention that it, in part, inspired the building of the famous Ohio Stadium, sometimes referred to as the house that Harley built. If there was any fear the 1919 game would be an anomaly, it was short-lived. Ohio State not only won the 2 following games against Michigan to move their winning streak to 3, but they hold a slight 51-45 lead in the series since that 1919 game. This turning point kicked off a long stretch of the evenly matched programs trading blows and collecting trophies, eventually leading to a decade of hatred and obsession that has defined the rivalry ever since. Thank you for watching this video on the origins of the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. If you liked the video, subscribe to Football in 5 to stay up to date with more content like this.